All right, we are live. How do we get this? All right. So what's going on, listeners? This is your boy Kirk in the building once again with the Come On Man podcast, episode 4, with my boy Timothy.
Hello.
Well, my bad. We reduced the the intro. We have a special guest, my boy Timothy from Atlanta, Georgia, a long
Hey.
distance podcast. And Timothy is a speaker, a musician, and a family man, and also a father. He's doing great things in Atlanta, Georgia, doing his thing as a man to do what he do to provide and take care of business.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you want to introduce yourself?
Hey, yeah,
Uh,
man. First of all, I'm just so honored to be here. I love the platform, I love the space. I feel like a lot
mm-hmm.
of men don't really have a space like this to
True.
be themselves in today's society. You know what I mean? So I appreciate you even asking me to be a part of.
Oh yeah.
Um, yeah, man. So ready to
Yeah.
go.
So basically, I would like to start off with the um. Well, we just start off. Go ahead and start it off. Basically, as a family man, a husband, and a father,
Mhm.
how do you feel about the red pill effect or the monosphere? Monosphere?
Manosphere kind of vibe.
Yeah. How do you feel about that, and how does it affect you in today's society as a family man altogether?
Well, I feel like honestly, I feel like what this has done, this whole red pill manosphere kind of vibe is like an overcorrect of our like where our society is, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there's a lot of people from a liberal sense, like a liberal vibe,
Mm-hmm.
who they kind of they kind of made like have tried to emasculate men
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
our society. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I get
Almost
you. I
like
get.
we're not important in the household, in the home. Because for a long time, I do believe that men obviously have dominated the entire earth, but in our society, a lot of times I do feel like men have caused women harm.
Really? Yeah. You just by like a verbal aspect of it and stuff.
Just period. I mean, when you look at it, like for instance, I'm take this as an example, like the Me Too movement.
Mm.
I believe the starts of the Me Too movement was great. Women should stand up for themselves. Women,
Right.
were I do feel like there was a time where women were felt I don't want to say picked on, but it was almost like over dominated in a
Right.
there
Right.
wasn't
Right.
a safe space there for them. So they created a movement. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I
Mm-hmm.
am being sexually harassed at the job, and I was afraid something because I didn't think anybody would believe me because they don't believe us when we say anything. I think
Right.
originally how it started off was, I think, yeah, kudos. But I think there was a mass overcorrect, right? Like now it's,
Mm.
oh, somebody looked at me in the gym and I'm half naked. Oh, what you looking at? You know what I'm saying? Like now I'm gonna get you
Yeah. I
fired
got you.
because because
Oh wow.
you glanced at me. You know what I'm saying? I think there was a
Yeah.
mass overcorrect where that was concerned. So now you got men everywhere afraid to even say something to a woman because they're
Yeah.
not trying to get in those issues, right? I
Yeah.
think the same thing happened in this space as well. I think when it started, Kevin Samuels and people like Jesse, what's his name, Pearson or Patterson or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
noticed that men needed encouraging. Noticed that, yo, we live in a society that kind of um, doesn't really push forth good men. So they're teaching men or are getting on platforms and saying, yo, y'all need to stand up and step up as a man, which I
Right.
think was extremely admirable. Now I think there's like this mass overcorrect where now it's like we're downing and coming for women. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Right.
it's like I
That's
don't get
kind of
it.
that's kind of like the new trend of like downing women and just like, oh,
Yeah.
women suck and we're better and we're gonna dominate you, and it's like, nah, we
Yeah,
it's crazy. And yeah, I've been seeing the Andrew Tates and
bro.
the what's the other one, fit and fresh or whatever.
There's a Fresh and Fit. There's a
They
dude called.
didn't they get kicked out, or they got shut down from YouTube or whatever.
I'm not sure. They probably
I
do.
I, I
I'm not
think
sure.
because I think I saw
Um,
because I think I saw some videos. They're like they're not on YouTube no more, but
dang,
they on other people's platforms trying to
dang.
still
Yeah,
share their red pill effect and stuff like that.
yeah. I don't know, man, but and nothing, no shade to anybody in particular,
No,
but it's like we need each other, and I think that's what's not being said. Like there needs to be a balance. Like, bro, yeah, I get it. Men need to be the head of their household, but
true,
we also have to understand, especially in our community, we need each other. You know
right?
what I'm saying? There, the family dynamic should be, if at all possible, a man and a woman
Right.
together. You know what I'm saying? Not
Yeah.
pinning each other against each other. And I feel like our society, they're so good at doing that, pinning men against women. So
Yeah. So yeah, it just yeah, just bouncing off what you said and stuff. I know it's kind of hard for men to do that in a way, just like having that support system, because
yeah,
for most men they feel like it's not it's not logical for men to have a man's support to support each other like what
mhm,
we're doing and uplift each other to
yeah,
just to get through life. They feel like it doesn't exist. Just kind of like, nah, or most times they just keep it to themselves or don't say nothing at all. Like my previous episodes, they just kind of like, nah, I'm gonna just keep all that stuff to myself.
yeah,
And basically, they're normal on the outside, but they're going crazy on the inside, and then you know, sooner or later they tweak out and then they f themselves off, or they do this
yo,
or do that, or they go do damage to the world, and it's like, damn, all he needed was the hug, or all he needed was a support group or whatever,
yeah,
and it's like, yeah, man,
yeah.
we don't have a lot of men to open up, and I don't know
Yeah.
what's the reason for men, what's holding men back from opening up to get the help and the reach.
I'm personally me. My I, a couple of reasons. I think it's very twofold. I think reason number one, we live. I think men are taught to hide emotions.
Mm, yeah,
We're taught that from like everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like even as a child, it's like growing up. At least when you grew up the way I grew up, if you cried, you was a
yeah,
punk. Like
yeah,
you
yeah,
you was
yeah,
soft. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? You cannot be like you can't be crying. It's like what you crying for? Like you know what I'm saying? It was very frowned upon
right,
to show emotion as a child,
hmm,
especially growing up in the neighborhoods that I grew up in.
right,
And even as you get older, men don't really have a place to go to with our issues because
true.
we're the place that everybody else goes to for theirs.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Like we're like
when
the one stop shop.
we're the one stop shop. Can you fix this? Can you do that? I need you to handle this. Can you take care of this? And automatically we get into, all right, let me just handle this. Let me take care of this mode. Let me take care of this mode. And
Yep.
nobody ever stops and says, wait, hold on. Like, what do you need right now? That's supposed to be your
Right.
wife, right? That's supposed to be the person you
Yeah.
spend, the rest of your life with. But I think Chris Rock said it the best. The world loves women, dogs, and and cats before they love men. You know what I'm
Yeah, and
saying?
that's what I was talking about on episode 2 with my boys in
Yeah,
Austin. Just yeah, I was trying to get that concept. Like my whole life, I kept hearing that, like, oh, the people who get unconditional love is women, dogs, and children. And I'm like,
yeah.
where we at? Why are we not on the list? They were
And
like,
it's
oh, you go ahead.
no, go ahead.
No, it just kind of like we're like we don't exist on that list. Like
No.
we're like blackballed on the list for
Yeah.
some odd reason.
It's like it's one of those things you gotta you take like because you're the head of the household or you're the man, you're
Yeah.
supposed to be prepared to shoulder this burden. And that isn't
Yeah.
necessarily incorrect because I do feel that God has given us the strength and the purpose to shoulder
Hmm.
a stronger burden.
Yeah.
But I do feel that when men don't have an outlet, they become a version of themselves that's toxic,
Yeah.
toxic to everyone around them. They don't
Man.
have a way to express or an outlet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then it becomes. Can you imagine you paying all the bills, you handling all the issues,
Yeah.
and then when your wife has an opinion, it's like, why are you telling me how you feel? You don't contribute in this. You don't contribute at all, and now you want to
Yeah.
tell me how you feel?
Yeah.
Nah. And then you
Right.
become toxic, right? I don't want to hear you.
Right.
It's just me. You can stop
Right.
talking at this point because I don't have an outlet. There's no like, I have no, I don't have a break. I'm just, everything is
Move.
on my shoulders.
You're just
So I
moving.
believe that's extremely important. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying you're just like moving and stuff. You're just constantly moving. They always want you to do stuff. They always want you to do this and do that, and they always everybody have to set. Everybody have a lot to say. You know, they have everybody's opinionated. They have a lot of opinions. Like, oh, why you don't do like this? Whoa, why you don't do like
Hmm.
that? Oh, you should pay your bills like this. Like, yo,
Yeah.
you don't pay my cell phone bill. Or you don't pay my light bill. You don't
Yeah.
pay for my mortgage and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
you don't have no say so. So be quiet, like you said. And it's just like, oh dang, now he's aggressive and blah
He's
blah blah. It's like no,
aggressive. Yeah.
oh he's an
But
angry black man or whatever. It's just I'm
yeah.
like what the no. I'm just speaking my mind, but they taking it as aggression. Like oh he got a lot of aggression inside him. Like you got a lot of attention. It's like no, it's not that. You just don't tell me what to do or how to live my life.
Yeah, man. I think that's imperative that we realize in a society that men don't have to on a society as a whole, we don't got to be that tough.
No, no,
You
we
know,
don't.
we don't have to. We shouldn't. The burden, even though our backs are strong,
Yeah.
the burden wasn't meant for men to carry it alone.
Mm-hmm.
As a society, it was meant for a family to carry that.
True.
That's what I'm saying. That's it was meant for. It was built for a family. So I think a lot of times what we're getting is aggressive men because we haven't figured that balance out.
Yeah, that's true. So I don't know. It's just a lot going on and everything, and I just wish the men who's watching this video or watch or
Yeah,
listen to podcast, you know, can open us men can open up more and stuff.
yeah,
Let
man.
me turn this down a little bit. Yeah, just open up a little bit more and just reach out. But it's I don't know for some odd reason it's just hard for men to reach out because they just feel like if I reach out, they're gonna shoot me down or they're gonna criticize me or you know, treat me like crap because I'm showing my weak side right now, and
Hmm.
that's
But
not
they
the case.
probably will, though. That's the thing. They
Hmm.
probably will. You have to get a man has to get to the point where it's like I don't care what anyone else thinks of me.
Hmm.
I have to. There's a duality to life,
Yeah.
and it's like, bro, I'm not a gangster every day of my life. Like I'm vulnerable. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I'm
Yeah.
not a thug. Like there's parts of me that are very vulnerable. There are parts of me that need help. I need a hug. Sometimes when you have that spectrum and
Hmm.
when you show the world that I'm more than just this, but there's this side to me too,
Right.
I feel like that is extremely healthy. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? And we can
Yeah.
breed a better level of masculinity or more healthier aspect of masculinity
Mm.
than what we've been seeing.
Okay. Tenfold. Tenfold. So there, yeah, man. That was a good topic on that, and good way expand on it and stuff like that. And let's
Yeah,
come
man.
move on to the next one.
It's good.
Um, Do you believe do you believe privacy is important for your personal marriage and career?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Let,
Oh yeah.
let's expand on that, on the privacy part. Why you think that?
Because I feel like when when too many people know what's going on in your personal life,
Mm-hmm.
because look, at the end of the day, like we all are human and we all are working through things.
Right.
And so I don't want what's going on in my house to be interpreted the wrong way.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't want what's going on to and when you open your personal life up to everybody, and I say certain things. I mean, if you're going to be a figure in the public eye, then yeah. But for there's certain things that I feel should remain private because when you open these things up, you open yourself up for everybody's criticism and interpretation of those
Right.
private things. And that can ruin your private relationships or the way that you think about those things. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I do something a certain way and I genuinely like doing it that way, but I do
Right.
that in private, I open myself up for everybody else and everybody has their opinion. Everybody's like, man, it starts to make you start to doubt or make you change the way you feel about what you've liked the entire time. You know what I'm saying? So I do feel like
Yeah. Yeah.
there should be like, do you know who Adam 22 is?
Adam 22.
Is
No, I
that
don't.
his
I heard
name?
that name before, but I don't know the.
Is this guy? And this is when you said it. This is like the only thing that came to mind. This dude, he's like a podcast guy,
Mm-hmm.
and I guess he does like porn. Him and his wife do like porn or whatever. But
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
he decided to let his wife have like
Hold
sex
on.
with this porn star.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh, the Adam
And
20. He's the Jump 22 podcaster.
yeah, that
Yeah.
guy.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I heard that.
And
Okay.
and homeboy filmed it
What?
himself. He filmed his wife
Oh,
sleeping with another man. Up
what?
until this point, they had only like video, like they only videoed themselves having sex,
Right.
and they might invite someone in,
Right.
but then he let her have sex with this other guy.
Yeah.
And I the girl, I guess, really liked it, and his wife really
Oh.
liked it, and it was like there was a lot of shots taken between the actual actor and Adam 22. A
Ooh.
lot of people were coming for Adam.
Oh snap.
Adam is like, you start to see him on different podcasts trying to justify his decision, and I guess like in his mind, oh, it ain't no big deal because this is what we do. But you see him playing defense all the time, and
Cause
the
he.
reason why the reason why I'm pointing this out because nobody deserved to be that in a business like that,
Nah.
because
That.
now you're on this little campaign trying to justify your decision because you let people in an area that you probably shouldn't have let them in. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, this yeah, that I heard that story. My friends
Mhm.
was telling me that at work and stuff. Was like, "Hey, you heard about that Adam 22?
Yeah,
He let his wife have sex with a porn star." And I'm like,
yeah,
and did he agree with that? He said, "Yeah, he agreed with it." And
yeah,
they exchanged money and stuff. Like,
yeah,
so he let his wife have sex with. I was like,
yeah,
"Yo," and
yeah.
like, I would never. If my wife had sex with somebody else, it like divorce, divorce straight up.
Like,
I was like, "What?
that's not
Nah,
my
not for
cup
no
of
money."
tea. But if
Nah,
that's what you do, bro, close the door. Like,
yeah,
the world doesn't have to know what y'all into like that. I don't. Same thing with Jada and Will. Like, if
I
that's
don't
what
want
y'all into, close the
to
door. Like,
door. Yeah,
I don't want to know. I feel like certain things, man, y'all just need to keep private, man. Like, not
yeah,
everything is for social media.
yeah. That
Like,
Jada and Will situation, man. I don't even want to talk about that. It just Will just I don't know. He was just walking, blindsided and not blindsided, but he just walking with a blindfold and them not living in the same house. Them not they're married, but they're not. they're not married. I don't know. It was like a weird.
I
I don't.
didn't know.
It was
And
just like a weird like we're not divorced, but we're divorced type of thing. I don't know what she called it, but it was something like we're not
it
messing
take
with. Yeah, we're not messing with anybody, but we're doing thing. And I'm like, that's and y'all married? And like, oh yeah, we're still married, but we're just not physically married. I'm like, nah.
yeah, man.
No,
Yeah.
the marriage spectrum of everything today in today's world is just jacked up right now, like crazy.
There's another thing I don't agree with. Again, I take a very different viewpoint on love and relationships when it
Hmm.
comes to today's society.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. I don't know, but yeah, my perspective on privacy, like yeah, privacy is key. You don't want to put too much out. You don't want to put too much of your business out there.
Yeah.
And I feel like, especially for your marriage and your career and your personal life, yeah, your personal life you can, but just like don't put no like the private part shots or whatever, or just do crazy things or whatever just to get clout. Man, I feel like the Adam 22 thing, he was doing that for clout. And I think he
I,
regretted once he regretted once it happened. Now he's like on this he on this grand tour trying to plead his case. Like, oh, hey baby, hey, I'm sorry. I don't know why would I let my this black dude or this porn
yeah.
star have sex with me.
I don't know.
But I didn't agree with that. I didn't agree with that. But they got videos of you agreeing and taking the money. Talk about, yeah, you can sleep with my wife with no
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
And it changed the whole dynamic of his marriage, if it even was a marriage, you know.
I would think so. I would
Yeah,
think
I
so.
would think so too. But
Yeah, man.
he think nothing changed. But after his wife had sex with that porn star, it changed a
Yo,
lot.
some change. Some change. Some change,
All right,
man.
so
It's like,
let's get into the next one.
yeah, man, let's do it.
Let me see. I know you say you want to talk about man's role in today's society. But you want to expand on that? On like, what do you think? What do you think was going on in the man society as men's, as having a role as a man? What it does it do? I can't even speak. Blah blah blah.
No, you could.
My bad.
No, bad.
Um, basically, in the men's society, how does that affect our role as men today? Basically, yeah.
Yeah, I think today in our society, men get penalized for being men.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? I feel like they're like like we said earlier. There hasn't been like a space for men to kind of be themselves,
yeah.
even amongst us, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what I tend to see is whenever a man like says anything with any level of authority, he's looked at as super aggressive
Yep.
and toxic.
True.
If he says, "Nah, I stand for this. This is what it is, and I
Mm-hmm.
won't compromise," he's looked at as super aggressive. And I think that's extremely problematic because if men don't have a place where we can take that level of a stance,
Mm-hmm.
then our community crumbles.
Damn.
Because think about it right now, like you listen to conservatives, they will tell you on end that the reason why the black community suffers is because the man is not in the house. The
True.
father is not in the home. They will tell you the reason why the black community is suffering is because there is no father presence in the home.
Damn.
There it's not wrong. You know what I'm saying? Men are the backbone, the shoulder that keeps a family going.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
And so whenever we don't take that role, whenever we go ahead and sleep with that woman, get her pregnant and bounce
Mm,
and leave her to raise the child, and we do that from home to home, we
yeah.
create a community that is missing a man. They have a woman,
Mm-hmm.
a mother, they have the nurturer, they have the children,
Mm-hmm.
they don't got their backbone.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And then we see the corruption of the community.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
now you
that's true.
have a
That's true.
man
And
growing up not knowing how to be a man, and then you have a woman growing up not knowing how to treat a man.
that is true. But you think, don't you think like the women like that? Don't they have issues too? Like the women having like daddy issues. That like that's the same. That's the same effect of the man not being in the the household, and basically being the structure and the disciplinarian, disciplinarian.
Yeah,
Yeah,
disciplinarian. Yeah, I get you.
yeah, you know, and it affects not just us, but it affects the women too. As we get older, you know,
Of
now
course.
the women don't know how to treat the man, and
Yeah,
the man doesn't know how to respect the woman, and
yeah,
it's kind of like a constant clash of
it
everything, and
is.
it's like, oh, don't tell me what to do. I'm a grown, you know, I'm
Yep,
a grown man, and like, oh, I'm just trying to do this, and it's always, you know,
yep,
from my perspective, we think the woman is nagging, but she's trying to help. And then from their perspective, they think we're assholes and and
mhm,
aggressive and ignorant, and we're,
yeah.
I don't know, we
There's a
just don't know how
disconnect.
to. Yeah, but if we have that male figure in the household,
Yeah,
that you know, you won't have that issue once they get older, so they know how to.
yeah,
The man and the woman who gets married or gets in a relationship know how to blend together, and then they know how to
yeah,
work as a team, and they know
yeah.
how to uh, plan together, execute the plan, and do what they need to do for their family so they can grow and elevate.
Facts,
So,
facts. I will say this: like,
mhm.
just because you have a man and a woman in the house, I'm not saying that's gonna guarantee that they raised the family.
Yeah.
Sometimes the dude be crazy, and he was probably better off not being in the crib. Like, yeah, I'm not.
I get you. I get you.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. I get it, but the point that I'm making is
Hmm.
that it's even when like we say the woman is nagging or blah 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 blah. I
Hmm.
want you to understand my standpoint, and this may be unpopular.
Right.
I believe at the end of the day is a man's responsibility to take care of his family.
True.
So for whatever reason, why the family crumbles, I believe that at the end of the day, that responsibility was on the man.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying?
I
That's
get you.
what it means to be a man is responsibility.
Mm.
You
You
know what I'm
do you
saying? At
think?
the end of the day, it's responsibility. But this is for
Yeah.
that same reason is why we need women. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because it's not that because I'm the man and I'm responsible, you need not to
Mhm.
have an opinion or you need not to know. It's because I'm the man and I see the big picture, I realize how much
Okay.
I need you and I realize what it's going to take to get our family here.
True.
That
True.
level of thinking and that level of maturity is lost on a lot of us men today. And so what
Damn.
happens is we get into these relationships
Hmm.
and I'm going to keep it 1,000.
No, keep it a thousand. Keep it a thousand.
When we young, it's mainly about how many women I can smash and not about what I can build with my legacy. Dudes are not
Uh,
thinking about how I'm gonna build my legacy now. We
oh
thinking
boy,
about how many women I can smash. Oh, she got a big booty. I'm finna hit that for
oh
real, for
boy,
real.
that boy Timothy's spitting fire, man, spitting the truth. Now,
No,
man,
it's
you're true.
real.
You're right. You're
We're
right. You're
not
right.
thinking about what matters in our community. We thinking about, we thinking with our little head and not our big head. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And what problem and that's I guess that's fine in the moment, but in the long run, it leaves us with communities that are disheveled.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It leaves us with kids that I'm a product of a single mother. You know what I'm saying? So I
Hmm.
know how it is to not really have my dad around. And I
So
grew up, I grew up like that. So
yeah. So how did you develop yourself to become the man that you are today as a husband, as Timothy, the son, the father, the I don't know, career man, and just in general, how did you become the man you are today? Like without a father in the household.
Um, I can I can tell you, Uncle Phil, from Fresh
Uncle
Prince,
Phil.
Uncle Phil from
Okay.
Fresh Prince. I've learned like, who else? Was it Carl Winslow from Family Matters?
Oh wow. Oh
No,
that.
but to keep it 1,000,
Mm-hmm.
even though I didn't have a father figure in the house, I had a lot of father figures in my life,
Mm.
chiefly from like church and my some uncles and people who invested time into me. A lot of people invest time into me, but above all of that, I believe that God had a purpose, or God has a purpose for my life.
Amen, my brother.
Um,
Amen.
yeah, I
For
believe
real.
that God has his hand on my life, and I believe that I could have, because a lot of people don't know, even the people who I grew up with, my life could have went a very different way.
True.
You know what I mean? Like I grew up, even though I grew up in church and around
Mm.
church, when I went to school, I grew up around. So I've seen a lot of things.
Mm.
I could have got involved in a lot of different things.
And
Yo,
end
I,
up in it and end up
I
in a situation.
end up in a situation and end up a part of a system that is
Mm.
meant to keep people who look like me in the penitentiary. I could have been that dude. You know what I'm saying? I could have, but
Yeah, I got you.
I I feel that God had a different plan for my life, and I for all the times I didn't listen to God, I listened to Him enough to get me here. You know what I'm
Damn.
saying? I listened to Him enough not to be dead. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 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 yeah. You
All the time,
listen.
like I could have went here when them dudes was out there shooting, but I didn't. I listened to Him enough to land me here. Now
That's
I'm
what's
not
up.
where I want to be, but grand scheme of things, I thank God for where I am.
Hey, amen to that, my brother. And that, and I'm glad you became the man that you are today. And
Amen.
I know you're succeeding in Atlanta, Georgia. Like it's just you're just doing your thing, man. And I just saying you nothing but more blessings, more abundance, more everything. Not just to you, but to your family and everybody
Thank
in
you, bro.
general who comes in contact with you and stuff like
Amen.
that. So let's get on to the last question. We already talked about the red pill. There's always the saying that over everything. And I know you say you're a big family man and family matters. Like, let's expand on that. Let's expand on that.
On why family matters.
Yes, sir.
um,
Or family over everything.
Family over everything. I believe the first real institution that we see in okay, so let me just start off. I'm a believer in God.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of my theology and my belief system comes from biblical principles. So I believe the first real institution we've seen is family.
Okay.
You know, that's the first institution God has made. He made Adam, he made Eve, he gave him a job. The first institution
Yeah.
we see is family. Um,
Right.
but outside of spiritual aspect of things, every community in America, at least,
Mm-hmm.
is built up what? Families.
Yeah.
Family is the nucleus to everything we do. You want to go to a good neighborhood? Fine. Chances are the people in that neighborhood, that's a good neighborhood. That's considered a good neighborhood.
Oh, what's going on with the
Chances
internet?
are it's a
Crap.
family. What'd you say?
Okay. No, I was no, that was making sure the internet it kept on cutting out on my end. Sorry about that. But continue.
Oh no,
My
you
bad.
good. Every good neighborhood you want to move in, where the houses cost a lot of money, the people who live there, chances are their families. You don't typically see the single mom living there.
Nah.
You don't typically see, you see the mom and dad and kids and the dog and the picket fence. You see
Right.
that in the neighborhoods you want to go to.
True.
Why? Because the better neighborhoods in our country consist of healthy families.
Mm.
The worst neighborhoods in our country consist of broken families. So then
Damn.
that tells me that the key to a better society
Mm-hmm.
is healthy families. And the only way to a healthy family is healthy relationships between men and women. You
Right.
feel me?
Yeah, I
So
feel you. I
that's
feel you.
why it's important for me as a family man to build a healthy family. And it's it sounds easy, but it's not. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
no.
It's you're fighting through a lot of trained behavior, learned behavior, our societal norms that push a certain demographic of people towards this way.
Yeah,
And you have to fight against that because face it, most black families are broken.
that's
And I'm
true.
not at all trying to make this a black or white thing.
No, no, no.
Calling it out like most black families are broken, and a lot of us black people have adopted very unhealthy like mindsets in
Mm.
dealing with each other and when it comes to family. So it is very important to me to break those unhealthy cycles and make sure that my family stands firm and strong.
Yeah, that's what's up. Now I know them that the family stuff. It's hardly out there when you look at it because it just kind of we look and we like, oh, where's the healthy families? We see a handful of them, and then we see some of the broken ones, like the single mothers and the single
Yeah,
fathers and things like that. And you kind of in back in your mind, you kind of think like, try to think about the history, like, dang, what happened right there? Oh, the mom and dad didn't work out, or
yeah.
the father got, went to prison or something. Not just not
Mhm.
having just a black and white thing, but yeah, I feel like more broken families than anything. I don't know if the family over everything still exists in a way.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard to find when you try to look for it. We don't look for it because we trying to worry about our families
Oh
and
yeah.
and make sure our priorities and our responsibilities are good. But when you look at it in today's society, you don't really see you see families and stuff, but like I don't know. I don't know how to put it. It's hard. It's hard to come by
Yeah.
when you try to make a healthy family because
Yeah. It is.
there's so much stuff influence in
Mm-hmm.
your decision making and what you're trying to do or what's your plan.
Yeah.
And I know social media and the people and just everything in general has something to say to affect your ability to do what you need to do to have
Yeah.
a healthy family.
Oh yeah,
So
man. And I'm not coming for any like single moms. I hope
no,
it'll come off like that because for
no.
whatever reason, God forbid, like I pray me and my wife stay together, but if we should break up at some point and
Hmm.
we just made a mistake, people make mistakes all the time.
Yeah, we're not
But
perfect.
we're not perfect, you know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of like I seen like a lot of crazy things where people are like promoting broken families. It's crazy. I
Oh
saw
wow.
this one thing where this girl was like, they asked this little girl in school.
Hmm.
She said, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" She was like, "I want to be a mom." She said, "Oh, so you want to get married?" She's like, "No. If I get married, then I can't put my baby daddy on child support." She
Oh,
was in school and she said that. That's the kind of thing that I'm talking about. Like that's crazy to me.
that's what she want to be when she grows up.
She wants to be a mom who puts her baby daddy on child support. That's what that when I
Wow.
saw that, I was like, yo, this is crazy.
The
And that's
world
what I'm
is
talking about. So I'm
the
not
world
talking
has
about like,
changed.
sometimes we make mistakes, we go through lives, relationships don't work out, and we have to part ways, whatever. I'm
Yeah.
not coming for that. I'm coming for a mentality that is detrimental to family.
Wow. That is damn. That is deep,
That's
deep,
crazy.
deep. That is crazy.
That's sick.
That's
That's
sick, man. And
sick.
and the sad thing about that, the kid that's the only thing the kid sees.
The only thing
He
they see,
sees
bro.
the single mom doing her thing and
Yeah.
collecting his child support money, and she was
Trying
like,
to
"Oh,
put
I
it.
want." She said, "I want to be like that." But if we think about it, if she had a male figure in her life and they was together, I think her way of thinking would have
Mentality.
been different. Her way of thinking would be way different
Yeah,
than
man.
just being a baby mama who puts her baby daddy on child support.
Child support. Look, next
That's
time we talk,
crazy.
Look, next time we talk, we're gonna talk about how child support is the devil.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, man. Yeah, we go. Yeah, I'm definitely, man. I can't wait till you come back on the on another episode of the Come On Man podcast, man. Yeah, I can't wait, man. I
Yeah, man.
definitely got.
Come on, man.
Yeah, we definitely got to do another episode for sure, man. But
Definitely,
I
man.
like to close it out to give positive feedback, or you give a positive message to the men that are
Yeah,
listening or watching,
yeah,
and like kind of uplift them to,
yeah, man.
to 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 keep going as a
Yeah,
man in today's society. Go ahead,
bet.
my bad.
No, I would say this: you're enough. You're good enough. You know what I'm saying? Like God made you for a purpose. He gave you the responsibility, and you're good enough. You know what I'm saying? We just got to pull ourselves together, take hold of responsibility, and do what it needs to do, not just for us, but for the people coming up behind us. But
True.
biggest lie that society has ever told a man
Hmm.
is that you aren't good enough or you're not adequate or whatever it is, but you're
Damn.
good enough. Yeah,
Damn,
man.
that's what's up, man. Appreciate that. Appreciate sharing the love.
Yeah,
Appreciate
man.
the
Definitely.
positive message and everything. That's what we need as men, man. We need to stick together and uplift each other and just
Definitely.
do what we can, man. Because we need it, bro. They
We
act like we
need it.
don't need. They act like we
We
don't need
need
it, but we do.
we
We
need
do.
it.
To
Yeah,
keep going,
man.
we need it, man. And I
We need it.
appreciate that love and support that you give to
No,
the
man.
people.
Definitely.
Um, and like I said before, man, I just nothing but blessings. Nothing but abundance and just everything that you pray for
Yeah, man.
and that you're trying to receive from God. God's gonna bless you, and you, not just you, like I said, and your family. God's gonna bless you and your family and your kids and future families that you build along the way. And I appreciate you for joining the episode of the Come On Man podcast.
Yeah,
This
man.
was a fun conversation. Yeah, man,
Yeah.
we definitely gonna do another episode for sure, man. We're
We
gonna plan it out. Oh no! What happened? Ah, no. Ah, that's why I don't like these damn StreamYard stuff. We're gonna get my boy back. This your boy Hurt. We had like a little technical difficulty, but my boy Timothy, man, he was a great man. He had a great conversation. Everything's looking good. Everything's looking well. Damn you, StreamYard. StreamYard, y'all need to do better with the online stuff, man. You can't be dropping calls like that. But I just want to say peace, love, and positivity to you, to everybody that you love and everybody that you care of, that you care about. And peace out. Herc is out. Love all of y'all. Peace. Damn.